You talk about trust and the importance of that. And, I know I'm spanning the landscape here, but I'm thinking about the current situation with Harvard president Claudine Gay. And, in essence, a congressional testimony has spawned, fresh accusations of plagiarism. And, I don't know to wade into the specifics of that, but when you think about the leadership of colleges, whether it's specific to President Gay or in general, how do they pivot? Because it starts at the top.
I would say to every university president, and I'm sure some of them listen to this program, your words matter and your actions matter. And some universities, as our students told us, are simply disengaged, uninvolved, because the presidents don't want to risk losing their jobs. But their job is to put themselves at risk. Their job is to engage with the students to ensure that every student feels heard, every student feels protected. Doesn't mean that you're going to agree, and students need to learn to stop being snowflakes, to stop taking every challenge, every criticism as the biggest thing that's ever happened, either to themselves or to that university. But that said, universities have to be the focal point for public debate and conversation. And any student who's afraid to leave their room, who gets abused by a professor, who gets physically accosted, and this is happening all across the country, that is the university president's responsibility. You're not just there to raise money. You're not there to send out the annual reports. You're there to ensure that your students exceed and excel in their educational experience. And frankly, we should only have people leading these universities who are both exceptional and extraordinary. And what we're learning right now is some of them have stellar academic records, but they don't and won't learn how to teach.
Yeah, and it gets back to trust. I want to circle back, to finish the conversation around the topic of civility again. And really what comes to mind is the word cruelty and some of the rhetoric that we're hearing, both in the campaign trail, obviously on the streets, in the news. There have been a lot of, references once again to Hitler with regard to some of that rhetoric. I would like to level set, again, what's on your radar as you think about some of the ways that we can navigate back to that common village green and really avoid demonizing fellow citizens for their beliefs.
I attend every rally I can on all sides of an issue, and so far, so good. I've not been recognized, and I'm able to listen to and learn from the speeches, the protests on all sides of all of these issues. But the one that concerns me the most is the phrase, by any means necessary. And that's being used by supporters of Hamas to justify what happened to Israel on October 7th. By any means possible is not a statement, it is a declaration of support for violent activity. And that's where democracies break down. That's where you undermine the whole purpose of being given the right to state your point of view and being given the benefit, the privilege of living in a democracy. And I'm afraid that there are too many people applying that principle, by any means possible, by any means necessary, in how they engage in politics. So my warning to those listening today is that you will reap what you sow. If you believe and if you articulate extreme points of view in defense of where you stand and where you sit, don't be surprised if it comes back at you. And if you teach intolerance, that's exactly what the community we call America, that's exactly what we will learn, and we will all pay a price for that.